a couple of hot food opinions we need to talk about. The pickles and peanut butter, and then Arrow, like, bringing it up a notch. Like, no. Those two and pizza? That's a little far from me, Pyro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't like that. I admire the creativity. I can't really say anything else about it because I will say I did a bit on one of the PGCQs with Taco Gaming, and a couple of them definitely trolled me with some of their taco recommendations. So I'm not as surprised by Arrow's very creative food choices. Peanut butter by itself and pickles, definitely not a huge fan. On pizza, maybe slightly better, but I'm still not feeling it.
Hey, Cubby, I feel like that makes it worse.
I'm out. I'm done. I'm out.
Like, the bread has peanut butter, like bread, the pizza crust with peanut butter on it, maybe not terrible, but like, yeah, why add the pickle? There's two of the three things maybe, but not all.
Actually, fun fact, I've only had one pickle in my lifetime.
What?
Well, two pickles in my lifetime. Because as a kid, I had one and I hated it. The second one I had, though, I had to eat the pickle and chug the pickle juice in front of 600 kids in a cafeteria. Just throwing that out there. Fun facts to Cubby.
All right, so if we ever need to be making
It was a great time.
So if we ever need to be doing a bet, it's just you eating pickles, is what I'm gathering?
An entire jar. We gotta raise the stakes, Sierra.
If I have wronged you, then yes, that would be the bet, Sierra.
All right, I'm keeping that in mind, just for any scenario that needs it. But
giving you free ammo.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, moving on into our next series from the day and leaving all the gross food chat behind, because I'm sure chat was just like, no, please, this is terrible. We're gonna get some Twitter messages about Cubby's hot takes about pickles now. But next up is going to be Maryville University taking on TSM. This should be a lot of fun for a couple of reasons. First off, I mean, Maryville is Maryville University. This is a pretty well-known team, and also bringing up the rosters, these are teams that have a little bit of history, Cubby.
Yeah, guys, this is a rematch of what was the most exciting matchup that we had in the last play-in for Proving Grounds. For Maryville, it is really just a statement for what this collegiate team can do. I know they didn't, win the championship this year. They were knocked out in semifinals, which really was the true finals against UST. But the fact that this team consistently is able to compete at this level of play as a collegiate squad, nothing but impressive. I know they're doing it this time around with a couple of ex-pros and Niles and Iconic, both returning to Maryville after their time with GG. And we'll see if that's what Maryville needs to topple our academy team, who have gone through a lot of changes themselves throughout the split.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out that TSM have definitely not had the most stable of rosters over the course of it. But yeah, this is the last time they actually met. Funny enough, it was last split, and it was an incredible series.
Sierra, this one was a banger. A certified banger.
You're giving it the certified banger label?
It's worth it.
Absolutely. It was 2 stomps for the first 2 games, and then game 3, APA Aurelian Soul almost won them the game. That cube was so big, it hit Kaiduo on the back half of the Corky package, almost turned the game in MU's favor. As they, I believe, were able to get a Baron off this, but TSM, they held strong. The Zeri was too good from Instinct. Of course, now performing on the LCS stage. And I got to say, I'm really hoping that this best of 3 can somehow live up to the standards of the last one. Because, man, this really was, I think, one of the best of 3s that we had in all of Proving Grounds. It was a crime that Maryville wasn't able to compete in the double elimination portion of the tournament, given the strength they showed in this one. And Maryville has a chance to make a huge statement, not only as an amateur team toppling an academy team in the first round, but also as a collegiate team toppling an academy team in the first round. That's something that has not been done. Maryville looking to be the first collegiate team to do so.
They're repping big.
Go ahead. I was going to say, when I was making my predictions on the amount of amateur wins, I feel like this is a series, and definitely just Maryville is a team that can wreak havoc upon my predictions. That is for sure. But in those clips, someone that you highlighted right away with that Aurelian Soul was APA. And of course, we got those cute little player cards that give us that little bit more information about these players. This is such a great player. And First off, 69% career win rate, Aurelion Soul. Very nice, very nice. As well, shout out to APA's parents in the Twitch chat. Love that support. But there's some great stuff here, Pyra.
Oh, absolutely. I think APA is a player that has always been a big playmaker, and when you have a champion in the pocket like Aurelion Sol, it's just hard for your opponents to predict. I kind of wonder, Cubby, like, is this maybe, could we maybe see the return? I mean, on 12.14, am I too far-fetched there?
I don't think we're going to see some ASOL, but it is, if anyone's going to play it, it is APA, and he is so good on that champion. Like, one of the best ASOL players on the planet. I will give him that. My hot takes about NA haven't been hot, but I will stick to that. But I think the big difference about this matchup this time around is that each team has a different jungler. As both junglers have had a lot of success on other stages, it is Iconic and Anda stepping in.
Absolutely, and we're watching a little bit of some Iconics play up against Supernova earlier in the PGCQs, and like this was just honestly some great turnarounds. We see that Viego on a reset champion can do a lot of work. He sets up some good plays for APA as well. On the Victor, of course, it isn't just that Aurelion Sol. He's great at a lot of these control mages, and this is how they're able to close out the games. But as you mentioned, Covey, now he's going to be going up against Anda on the TSM Academy side. So while we had quite a banger between these two last time, they've got some new blood.
It'll be so interesting to see how that new blood helps them try and get into the next level of competition. We have to talk a little bit about Anda. First off, it is Anda's birthday, so get some happy birthdays in the chat. You know that a great gift would be to be winning all of your games and being able to just take this victory, not even worry about any Maryville University upsets at this point. And also, on first Proving Grounds, on no org, Cubby.
That was honestly one of the biggest shifts of what happened in the North American developmental scene. The fact that we had an amateur team run the table against all of our academy teams in the very first PG. Anda played a huge role in that, and I gotta say, Anda has been nothing but impressive as he has stepped into TSM this summer. I really feel like Anda has been one of the stronger junglers early, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what his playmaking and control that he brings to TSM can do for them. Because I really see Anda as someone that can help enable Soul, enable Takeover to perform at the levels that we've seen these guys hit, even on the LCS stage. And I mean, they might need it today against Maryville, as this is no walk in the park for TSM.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's incredibly impressive for Anda to have made such a big impact in the short amount of time, right? Like, he's only been there for the last couple of weeks. And, it's definitely a player that has a lot of experience. We saw that in the player card. He's been on 5 different LCS rosters, of course, made that debut on No Team as well. And even a Worlds appearance. So, I think he definitely has the total package. We'll see if that's going to be enough to get TSM into the main event.
Well, this match ahead of us is the main event, that's for sure. This one should be, we got to see this certified banger in the past. Hopefully this is another one that can get that stamp of approval. It is time for Champ Select. I'll catch up with you two later.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Sierra. Excited to get into this one here, Cubby. Maryville, TSM. Teams having a little bit of history, and with the roster changes, I'm really curious to see who will step up to be the hero on either side. TSM definitely getting quite an infusion, as we saw from Anda. So, really good stuff as we get on to champion selection.
Okay, right off the bat, we are going to have TSM on the blue side, which gives Maryville a few more counter picks. I got to say, I feel like blue was stronger on the last patch we had. I'm not exactly sure about 12-14. But at this level of play, I really like when player counter picks. If they're able to opt into their lane matchups, I really feel like lower levels of play, that helps a lot. And Maryville on red, oftentimes they play for early priority and try to attack the side lanes. So we'll see if this is something that can throw off TSM again in this matchup, as TSM not going to have the Silas in their hands. But hey, that's a Poppy left open. We didn't see that get through the ban this last time, Pyra, and it sure looks like it could be first pick here for Anda.
Yeah, Poppy is huge. You know, I was talking last week actually to Contracts over in the LCS, and he was talking about why Poppy has just come up into so much priority.
Yeah.
It's always a champion that can give you a numbers advantage. As long as you can land the Keeper's Verdict, you instantly have the numbers in your favor. It's got huge gank potential. It can roam well. It's tanky. There's few things that this champion doesn't do well, and that's why it's such a high prio. It's to fall into Anda's hands. Maryville, for their part, they go ahead and pick their top jungle duo. Bit of a last year combo with the Gwen Viego.
Gotta highlight Iconics Viego, as he has been so good on the Viego throughout the last PGOQ, the CQ. He actually went 5-1 on that Viego. It was his most played. We'll see if he's able to deliver the performance that Maryville needs from him today, as more blind picks coming in for TSM. We will see if they grab the Gnar to play into the Gwen, as if they don't grab it here, you gotta assume that's gonna be taken off the ban list by Maryville. But of course, Gnar did see some changes. He lost some base health, lost some health regen, so maybe it's a different matchup that Soul wants to opt into now. Sure is looking like that's the case. It's actually going to be an Aatrox.
It's the Aatrox.
Yeah.
All right, we saw it getting pretty punished last time around, but we'll see if this is a little bit different with the different nameplates on the board. And APA,
Yes.
of course, is going to go for a champion that's going to try and snipe you from downtown. We got a Shurima showdown in the mid lane here, Cubby.
All right. Xerath has been played twice by APA in this summer season. I really like the matchup into Azir. We have seen Harry play it into FlyQuest. Spyrax, they did lose that game, but they should have won. That was a toss. We will chalk it up to that, as TL knows. They beat themselves in that one. As I gotta say, for the side of Maryville, APA on Xerath, this is a really difficult champ to play with and play around. You need to be very careful about whenever you push past any point of river on the Xerath, because you are so immobile, so gankable, so vulnerable without that flash. But if you are able to pump out the damage, you are also so damn powerful. And I want to see if APA can deliver on that. I think APA is a fantastic mage player, has a big chance to step up in this one. Play that counter pick in the takeover.
I do love this. Now in the second phase of bans, it's been all bot lane. We saw Felia Zeri taken away by Maryville, the Jinx banned out by TSM Academy. And then the Ashe comes through, and the Sivir, I think it was nerfed on this patch, but still coming through pretty strong.
Insta-locked. Some adjustments. I think they fixed the bug on the Q, and then they took down a little bit of the damage on the Ricochet.
Still pretty bonkers.
Yeah, it's the same idea. Get this champ to 3 items, and Sivir will do the rest. So you have a front line to hit with Poppy and Aatrox. Always important when Sivir is able to comfortably hit the front line. I will say something, though, going up against the Draven, you're going to be under a ton of pressure at this stage of the game. And it's really going to be on Zyko with the support counter pick to try and help. Supports have not been touched, so we'll see if Mia ends up going for Alistar. I think this is one of Mia's best champions historically in the Alistar. It's very good in the Sivir. I want to see him pick it up, but Nautilus would be a good way to attack Xerath in the later stages, so maybe that's why TSM's going for the Naut. And Zyko insta-lock again on the Braum.
Yeah, I do like it. It does get themselves a little bit of a nullifying power, especially up into the sides of the Draven. You can try and stop a little bit of that damage coming through. And looking at this Maryville comp, I mean, the speed boost is going to be so real when this team does group S5. The Sivir run at you comp is just terrifying. The issue is you're going to be running face first into the Poppycopter. So Anda's going to have such a big impact on this game one way or the other.
I like the idea of Maryville's draft. There's no engage. That's the one thing that is a little bit of a bummer for me. So it really is going to be important that Sivir ult is used to make sure they're able to absorb the engage from TSM and reset fights from there. If they get behind or if they get ahead, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to push the game state in terms of fights. Maryville, they win a lot of games in Collegiate based on how they play the map. Jensen and Maryville, they play the map differently than other teams, usually prioritizing side lanes. We'll talk about that if we see it in this game. I think it catches a lot of teams off guard. We'll see if TSM is prepared for that in this one. As interesting draft, I gotta say, I think that Maryville utilized some of their counter picks well, but the lack of engage does concern me a little bit, because if they get any leads, I don't know what they can do with it.
Yeah, I think the game state may stall out just a little bit if TSM recognize that in one direction or the other. But the issue now for TSM too is they have to be careful with the counter engage, right? If they want to actually start the fight, it's kind of like works both ways. So we'll see if the ball's in TSM's court, what they're going to do with it here, as they are onto the Rift up against Maryville to try and earn their way into the main stage of Proving Ground Summer 2022. Here we are onto the Rift. The Draven for tactical. Sivir for Azog, and APA on the Xerath. I love this into the Azir. As you mentioned, we saw this in Academy. Yes, it should have been a Xerath win because it was in the hands of Harry, but do give Spyrex some credit. That was a sweet shuffle into the fountain.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta give him some credit, even if TL were, you know, that was a game, probably one they want to erase from their memories, but we still remember it fondly here on the Academy stream, Pyra.
Yeah, highlights. That game kept going, by the way. I remember, I think I was hosting that day.
Yes.
And I was like, how is this game still happening? It was like 55 minutes.
It was not the best game in League of Legends I've watched, but you know what? It was damn entertaining.
It was fun.
Sometimes
that's
those
what
are the
matters.
fun ones. Yeah.
Absolutely. This game, we will not get a whole lot of early shenanigans. We have seen that a little bit already today here on the Academy stream. But Sol and Ando weren't going to go fishing too far. However, Niles is stepping a little further forward. He's going to spot the blue buff start without getting the ward down.
Ooh. So
Information gained.
No scouting here on the side of Maryville. They're going to see both laners leash. So this is a little bit of a bluff that TSM is throwing at them. We'll see how Maryville is going to be able to deal with it. As it looks like Iconic did start the Raptors, so hitting that Raptor respawn, really important for the Viego as, oh, flash burn immediately by Mia.
Immediately trying to make the play. They want to get those stacks paying off early, and they actually get the hook back in onto Azom focusing there as he just flashed away the follow through and first blood for Tactical's Draven.
And the aggression from the bot lane of TSM. Winter's Bite, it missed, and instantly Mia is flashing forward, secures the kill for Tactical. And TSM off to a blistering start, utilizing one of the few counter picks they got on blue side to get first blood.
Oh boy, all right. Tactical burns flash early, but well worth. You know, didn't have that many stacks just yet, but gets the first blood already, and TSM off to the flying start they wanted. A little bit of emote wars up top side.
No, I'm oohing and eyeing at the serrated Dirk in the inventory of the Draven.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Ooh.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Let's just watch something slightly less brutal. It's going to be the top side bout between Niles and Sol for a minute. Playing on the edge of the health bars. Just going to push that wave and back away. Let's see this play again. Wait for the miss of the Winter's Bite. Mia, hyper aggressive.
I love it. Like Mia just knows, like that misses, I win level 1. I'm going to flash in. I can auto, make sure that I guarantee the dredge line to connect. Easy peasy, as that's textbook from the bot lane of TSM.
No stand behind me, no unbreakable. They know that nothing else is coming their way. And now Anda, speaking of, is going to be coming down to the bottom side, but Iconic is here to match and does get the spot off. Spectral Mom not going to land, so they chase him away. It's a level advantage for the TSM jungler.
Anda's just going to cross and go take that top crab. Iconic is going to be forced to reset here, unless he wants to go for the Krugs or go for a wraparound to try and protect the bot lane. As Iconic, a little bit stuck in between two plays. Worth noting, though, looks like takeover this early lane. Xerath does need a few levels to really get into this laning phase. Once he is able to get past, you know, level 6, 7, those Qs start to hit really hard. But it's good to see takeover with the Comet really making good use of the matchup early.
Onyx still having the level deficit, just gets caught and immediately wallbanged by Anda. Great placement of the ward, sees him coming, and he claims the Raptor camp. Meanwhile, we're right back to square one down to the bottom side because this time it was Zyko that did get the catch on. So Azog staying relatively safe as he chucks the discus out to try and get a little extra damage there onto Tactical.
I really want to praise Anda for his pathing in this early game. Was able to get a big clear off, but keep in mind that ward he dropped level 1 was on enemy Raptors. He saw Iconic clear it, was able to get back to Raptors to contest the second spawn, which gives more experience up a level. So he forces Iconic to base, and now Anda is going to be able to clear out all of his camps again. So Anda with this Poppy, you know, he hasn't made a huge impact on his lanes yet, but his lanes are winning, and he's gotten up in the face and set behind the Viegos. So I think Anda's early pathing really stellar this game.
And that's something you've got to do, right? Like, you can keep the Viego behind. Iconic won't have nearly as much of an impact. And there's a reason we highlighted these two junglers in this matchup. We really wanted to see what they were going to be able to bring to the team, as they were some of the newer players. And Anda, very new to this TSM Academy squad. I believe like less than a month on the roster, and he's just doing nutty things.
Yeah, so Anda's actually been playing from Canada, so that means that the Academy games have been a high ping environment, fortunately for Anda and TSM. because it's Maryville. They're actually playing on the Chicago servers for this game.
Mm-hmm.
So Anda, unleashed, has way less ping. Anda, I believe, is going to be transitioning, though, into the TSM camp here rather soon. I believe that Anda did secure the visa. As
Okay, the flash into the shuffle. Yeah. Speaking of going into camps, going straight into the mid lane as APA is going to fall thanks to a little bit of help from his jungler. Nicely done to get the shoves on, even burning the flash on APA.
That's just great laning from Takeover, who has been, I think, despite TSM's placement in the standings, Takeover has been a strong mid laner in Academy. His ability to force APA off waves, force the TP, got the experience advantage, and was able to hit it. Really good stuff from Takeover.
Yeah, Soul taken very, very low in this one, but does manage to escape from Niles. The last charge goes through on the needlework. Yeah, no, I think Tactical's definitely been a big bright spot in the TSM Academy roster for pretty much the entire Academy split as well.
Hold on.
Soul sticking around here.
Yeah.
This is risky, and there's no help coming for him.
He's
Niles
dead.
would love to get the play on, to get the
Oh,
flash
good
on, get the
flash.
outplay, and nicely done. That's good. Here comes the blast cone taken, and full vision Soul
Oh, hold
trying
on.
to buy even more time. Iconic takes 3 tower shots. How is Soul doing this?
It hit the minion. Now APA.
Oh wait! Right of the arcane from down now.
Meanwhile,
TSM in the bottom lane just going for a full 3-man dive themselves and absorbing all of the tower hits until Mia tags
They
his
can
way
reset.
in. Azog is taken. Psycho trying to buy a little bit more, but that's going to be the reset. They go in, wallbang, double kill.
Nice.
Raven cashes in, baby.
So well done from TSM across both sides as Soul bought time and Iconic. I think he was going for that stun. It caught a minion. And that's why Soul was able to stay alive for so long, forced APA to rotate, use that ult to make sure that Soul fell on the top side. But TSM went out huge on the bot lane. And look at this Draven tactical. 3-0-0. Serrated Dirk already in the inventory. He is off to the races this game. Let's see what this base is for him. Eclipse. 737.
Easy.
Mythic. Whew.
That is dirty. Yeah, when you're playing a Draven, you need this to happen. You want this to happen. You want to get ahead. But Mia, get yourself a support like Mia is for Tactical. And Anda coming in for the wraparound. This is just such a brilliantly executed play.
Snowballing the early kills into more. Love to see this from TSM. And again, the pathing has been stellar this game. The game plan, I think, to deny Viego the early second Raptors and continue to path top to bot within advantage. The Viego is somewhat forced to flip the pathing. He's going to be taking the topside camps. This should be now easy dragons going over to TSM. They're always going to have first move from bot lane. So they make a play for Rift if they so choose, as Rift is now on the map. The world is their oyster. 2.5k gold lead. 8:30 in. TSM looking to put to bed any doubts of a Maryville upset early in this best of 3.
This game certainly looking the way. TSM Academy will start off on the Rift Herald. Not much that Maryville can do to try and contest this one out, as they will go back. Iconic APA both resetting here. Niles nearly had the 1v1, but I mean, really impressive fancy fingers from Soul to just stay alive as long as he did by the time they force APA to just get the 3-point shot from downtown. And Soul's even trading a level down decently into this Gwen. Yeah, he has a CS deficit, but that's okay. Everywhere else is winning on the map. And walks in and out with the Herald and Iconics there.
That's
just
big.
a bit too late to make anything happen.
That's really big, the fact that Anda was able to walk out with that, because now it means that this dragon for TSM, there's no way they don't pick it up, given the lead that Tactical has. It is an Eclipse versus a pickaxe.
Not fair, man.
Yeah.
Not fair. Oh, Niles getting knocked up. Oh, no, I think he miscalculates on that one. We'll have to walk away from the mist. And doesn't even have
Soul.
Ghost up yet.
He's
Soul in the
waiting.
chase. He is waiting for the time. No,
Ooh.
the dodge from Niles. All right. At least they can still go toe-to-toe topside.
Looks like an Eclipse for Soul as well this game, going into some squishies. We've seen this more on the Aatrox. I must say, I like it. If you aren't into the full dive, as Anda looking to pressure, smite, force.
That's up to steals.
Yeah, but
almost
look
steals.
at bot lane.
Iconic gets it. Yeah. It's like, yeah, they're gonna get all the plates. Every one of
It's
them.
Human Ward Anda. And, I mean, it's almost twice the gold that Tactical has over Azog in the early game.
Yeah.
Hella
It's a ward with a
impressive.
threatening order. Threatening
Yeah.
aura on this game. Anda has just done so much work to keep Iconic down, but also now having an impact in these lanes, an impact in the jungle. They get the setup for this dragon. It's easy as you like, and they're going to be able to get first brick without a whole lot of contest. I think they got every single plate at 10.5 minutes, so they will soon enough. Here comes Tactical to cut the wave off, and
Just killing
yeah.
waves. And look at Maryville's bot lane. They have no response. They cannot take the dragon. TSM are refusing to take it because they know that they can just keep on killing waves into this turret. So they walk mid. Takeover walks out. Soul's going to try and get dove again here by Maryville, but he's wise to it.
Yeah, they do manage to actually land a nice setup here, and I think the last shot by the Arcane, not quite enough to take the kill, but Iconic gets it anyways. Meanwhile, though, first brick falls down bottom, so Maryville going to cut their losses, try to get what they can elsewhere, and it will be at least a tower matched up in the top.
And this is a disastrous start for Maryville, but I still think that even with the response, they are showing, some of their veterancy as a roster and some of that macro play that they so often are rightfully praised for in our amateur and collegiate games.
Yeah.
And, Maryville, they understand that bot lane's over. They at least make a play somewhere else. It's still not a good game setup for them. It's still pretty damn doomed. But at least they have a strong point in the map now on the Gwen. They can try and play around that moving forward.
And that's important, right? I think it definitely shows that this is a team that's not going to run around like headless chickens and try to at least trade across the map. Veterancy, you definitely called it. But, of course, it's also, lesson 101 at Maryville University.
How long were you sitting on that one?
About 30 seconds. It was a long 30 seconds, though, Cubby. Either way, Philip, we're coming back to mid lane for APA. I really think TSM have done a great job of not letting APA's lane go unchecked because Xerath is so vulnerable, right? When he doesn't have flash, there's almost nothing he can do. Anda gonna get that troll ward out. The buckler, Psycho and Azog here. As Iconic's gonna join. It's a 3v3 up top side. Just both teams turn their attention.
And look at how Anda has shifted his priority again. Still no dragon taken for TSM. They really don't care about that. They want the plates, they want the gold, and Anda has shifted his pathing from going top to bot to top now that his bot lane is top. And now might make a pit stop mid. APA is vulnerable to an Anda flash.
Iconic, I don't know if he knows this is happening, although he has to now. He just can't catch a break on his chickens this game. Smite away. Here we go. APA gonna look for something take over. Sand shuffles away. TSM continue to control the pace.
I love it. Chickens are the easiest camp to access for both sides. We've seen Anda consistently be challenging, knowing that he has the push of Azir early, knowing that he wins the 1v1 against Viego very early, and now Maryville.
Looking for more here, cutting Soul down to side.
Good flash.
The flash away, the needlework, not enough to get the kill. You zone him out, though. Let's see if they can follow through on this one. The counterplay, up top, Tactical and Azog continuing to duel it out, but that's a 2-level difference. That Eclipse, I think, is still unmatched. Had to check back when we looked into the items again. That shuffle this time. He's too fast on the flash. Nicely stunned. But we're actually going to have to tab away. What's going on up top side? Tactical getting autos fired into him by Azog here. And it's just a game of inches both ways away.
There's no turret. They could long chase if they want. We could see a Sivir ult. Looks like Azog sitting on it. Iconic knows he's been spotted as he clears out the control ward. That should be enough.
Okay, they're not going to go for it. Man, we were so close in 2 lanes from seeing kills across the map. But Anda now going to try and turn things around yet again. Waiting for the backs to complete. That tower is a hair's breadth from falling.
Yeah, they want it before points drop. So Tactical's going to try and hit it.
But he takes one shot, and that's going to be the flash out of the Braum ultimate. Meanwhile, up towards the top side, Azog wall bangs, and, the opposite. Azog staying alive just barely as Zyko comes to his rescue. But there's no mana on the Sivir, and he just can't follow through.
Oh, man. 4K gold lead, 14 minutes in. TSM, who needs dragons, baby? You can just keep on pumping gold into that Draven. And Tactical going to be the big focus moving forward. As, man, I got to say, Soul probably feels like he's back in IMT AoE right now. He has just been left to the wolves. And his bot laner is doubling the gold of the enemy bot laner. As Tactical doing his best Meech impersonation on this Draven.
It's a proud tradition of TSM squads to completely leave their top laner isolated. I remember a guy named Dyrus. I also remember Haunser. So, it happens. And Soul knows what he signed up for.
Yeah, hopefully Solo does as well, as of course that is the solo comfort zone. But we got Soul in this one. Still very excited to see this young player continue to develop for Academy. I think he was thrown into a very difficult spot having to enter LCS. Again, only being in the Amateur Plus ecosystem for 7 months, having to step into LCS, actually winning a game and looking to make plays, I think really speaks to Soul. Anyone that listened to his interview, you should be a massive fan of Soul moving forward. I think he really dealt with a tough situation with a lot of grace, and it's good to see him in Academy trying to make the steps to be a better player. And going up against Niles, someone that, you know, also had an LCS to a CAT experience. I think Niles had a really good split in Academy last summer. It's been really valuable for the Maryville team throughout the spring, and we will see if Niles can take the Soul with the small lead he has.
Absolutely, and you know, it's good you mentioned Soul's stint up in the LCS as well. It takes a lot of really like emotional maturity, even at that age, to like just say, hey, you know what, I'm not ready for this yet, and step back down, because a lot of people, a lot of players, they just jump at that opportunity, and I'm honestly just very impressed by this player. Soul, a lot of good stuff to see from him, and I think a lot of good stuff to see from Niles going forward. But this game, TSM are the ones that are very much in the driver's seat as they kept the kill score low. They get the Shelly charge, number 2, into this mid-tier power, and at 16 minutes, the gold lead is 5,500.
And Tactical is massive in this game, as that level 1 from Tactical Mia, that was just too damn good. That really broke this game for Maryville. And if you give TSM any room with this roster, I mean, this really is Anda's strength. This is what made Nowhere great, the intelligence that Anda had to play for his laners and hitting those timers. Anda was a huge part of Nowhere in that win, but now, Soul.
Soul! Man, Maryville, they're still looking for something. I was about to ask you, Cubby, how do they get back into this game? I feel like they need to do things like that.
Okay, so Maryville, the way that they play map differently than a lot of teams, that they prioritize deploying inside lanes. That time around, they did catch Soul off guard, but now they are stuck inside trying to play Krugs. Mia is here.
Mia's going to get caught and turned on.
Hold on.
Again, they have the Red Arcane from downtown looking for a little bit more. They
It's big.
However, it's a massive shove on the Emperor's Divide. Niles is going to get cleaned up, and TSM flex on Maryville. 3-for-2 trade.
Yo, Takeover just scooped Maryville into Narnia and into the gray screens as, oh my goodness, Takeover puts him back in the cabinet and gets him back into the driver's seat with his gold lead. Hang on, Tactical.
Wait a minute, Tactical. He's feeling himself a little bit too much here, perhaps. Azog is going to get the shutdown gold, and
that's huge.
It's too late to the party. Talk about Narnia. I think he was in Fantasyland on that side lane.
APA catches him out. That's a big stun and a big shutdown going over to the Sivir. Again, if you are Maryville, getting Sivir to 3-4 items really feels like the only thing saving you in this game. And that was a big shutdown that just went over to the hands of Azog. It's still pretty doomed. You can see Maryville trying to make more plays in the sides. They're going to deploy into the top lane this time around. Soul sees it coming. And because they over-index top, they lose mid. This Takeover cleans it up.
All right, TSM, they respond well. Bit of an oopsie from Tactical, but you know what? Every once in a while, when you're 3-0 Draven, 4-0 Draven, you can make a mistake here or there. Like it's forgivable. The AD carry mindset, you just want to get a little aggro, but this was the start of it all. Tactical actually finds Iconic, does a lot of damage, and I mean, Maryville thought they could turn on this, and it looked like for a second they could, but holy moly, this is where the big play happens. Take over, the break's over.
Keeper's Verdict into Emperor's Divide. Some schmoovin at the end there for Takeover, going over a couple walls. Not bad.
TSM. That gold lead pretty tight, about 6,000 and some change here, but Maryville are not done just yet. They're stacking a lot of pressure in the mid, though, to try and get this done, and Soul, he's just kind of dancing around saying, you can't dive me, you can't dive me. Got a free hit for Tactical in the mid lane.
I will say the one decent thing about this is that Azog, when you have a lot of wave clear as Sivir, and again, really important that Sivir is trying to get back into this game, trying to stack up items, and TSM, this early into the game, they can't push inhibitor turrets. So Maryville were able to actually get something for themselves. Better than nothing, again, still 7k gold deficit. We'll see if they can catch Mia.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a dance around in the jungle pathing, and the hook is landed just onto Zyko on the edge. Mia gets taken pretty low. This one's a little time for the team to get back into this. There's that knockup. Zyko staying alive. Here comes Soul. Does not connect on the sword, but Draven ultimate does. The heal comes through to keep alive. Maryville up 1 in the trade.
They have to reset. Baron's on the table here in 4 seconds. We also have a dragon. Looks like TSM will look for blue buff first.
Iconic.
Goodbye.
That was a heel turn.
Yeah,
around there.
I don't blame him as Takeover. He's a little bit big on this Zir. Soul magic damage, losing Zir. It's a lot of damage. And Iconic.
Into the wall bang. Oh no, Iconic. He's forced to flash away, and he can't get involved in this next fight.
Iconic, able to survive. That's big. Does guarantee the fact the Dragon goes over the side of TSM as they even score with that one. We get a late soul, but it's an Infernal. As Infernal going to burn away the map just as TSM has lit this early game on fire. Tactical still 3 items working towards an IE 20 minutes in. Yeah, he went down once, but no one can touch, no one can fight this Draven.
Ooh, not at all. Yeah, he has the only it's the Team Liquid Academy strategy. The only people who can defeat him is himself. Look at that gold game right now. Holy moly, the gold lead is in the bot lane.
Damn. Tactical has that big dosh. He's got that money. We'll see if he can buy the fancy sneakers after this one.
Do you think that Draven is a hype beast? I feel like he'd have to be.
I feel like, you know, Tactical this game, it's definitely drip or drown. And he wants to be dripped out in all the items, in all the shoes that he can.
Oh, yeah. Whew. All right. And a pretty spicy game. Lower kill count than the last time around, but less chaotic. Definitely more TSM controlling the rift here. But Maryville trying to find an opening around the side, looking for the macro positioning as they get punished a little in the health bars, firing away some of those wards. That's a lot of them. Here comes the right of the Arcane, forcing takeover. However, he gets wall banged immediately, and there's nowhere to go. He didn't even get to flash. His takeover takes him out, and now TSM realize they can just shut the door on the rest of Maryville here, sliding and gliding their way forward. Niles is going to come through and look for a big turnaround. The needlework just gets threaded in, but it's not enough to take anyone down. So without APA, this is gonna be barren.
We'll see if TSM wants to start this. TPs are up for both APA and Niles, but Iconic forced to reset. Did hit the base. That should be it, as I don't think Azog or Zyko is able to hit this. And TSM continue to cruise this game. It was a lead from level 1, and TSM has not let go at all in this one.
We talked about the struggle that this Maryville comp was going to have in getting engages, and I think you just saw it right there, right? They tried for it, they poked it out, but the moment TSM just recognized that there was a weakness in setting up this Xerath Trebuchet, right? Like, he goes up right to the Arcane, and all of a sudden Andrew's like, nope, into the wall you go, and he gets deleted before he even uses Flash. And I don't think it would have made a difference, but at the same time, you have to deploy him somewhere that you can protect, and there just really isn't a good place right now. TSM have just forced Maryville into bad decision.
If Xerath is the Trebuchet, then, you know, is Poppy... What's the medieval thing that, you know, like you use to break down the big doors?
Well, Poppy's got the hammer, but it's the battering ram.
Yes, Poppy's the battering ram.
Yeah, except it's that really big one from Lord of the Rings with the wolf's head.
Yeah, we're just missing fire. But you know what? That's why we have Infernal Soul on the map, Pyra.
Exactly! No, it's perfect, right? Takeover's going to be able to use that bare minions to spread through. I think Takeover's just had such a standout game in this one, and it certainly has been one of the big standout performers on TSM Academy. But this game, Tactical's popped off, and has been doing incredible. Mia's been doing his job, and Soul just needs to hold the line, and that's fine.
Niles is fishing. Tactical does have flash, doesn't have to burn it. Mia melts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess a caster cursed him. What are you going to do?
It's a freebie. Maryville, good pickup from them, as that ult from Zyko, that was the engage they needed to take down the Nautilus. Again, Braum into Naut. You can absorb the engage and really turn it on Naut, who is paper. Good to see Maryville at least get a freebie. Still dreadful 9k gold deficit for them. And I don't know how you deal with Tactical. It has to be really a miracle ult connecting from Zyko. Maybe stacking up the concussive blows as well on the Braum. Playable in the Draven, but it feels like Draven's just has too many stats on his shoulders at the moment to be dealt with by anyone on the side of Maryville. He's level 14. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is that's terrifying.
Oh,
right.
My
You
goodness.
catch Tactical on one shot, two shot, but he's able to dodge. Oh no, he's out of there. No escapes, but it doesn't matter. He's just too fast on the feet.
Yeah, it's a plus 153 when he crits with a spinning axe. That's not bad. Draven's back to full. TSM back in business, as they have knocked down every turret except for an inhibitor turret. I must say, as long as they're playing 3 lanes, I don't think they can siege into the Xerath. So they will have to shift into a 4-1 and then stack as 5, I think, if they want to get any damage down on the turrets. And Tactical on this Draven does have to be careful about stepping past that ramp, as that is the spot that MU can look to find and engage, can look to try and slow him down.
Absolutely. Sonic Has to blast cone. Oh, that was so close. Mia's been landing some serious hooks to the APA. A little far ahead on the side lanes. Has to float back into his own. Maryville clinging to life in this one. Need to find the pick. Need to find the opportunity here.
He's alone.
Tactical. He's going to be isolated. He is burning the flash. Nice knock up from Mia. Ooh, that was very important.
I gotta say, though, I do like the attempt from Maryville. Getting that flash out from Tactical, it is still a Draven. It really is the only way that you can hope to take Draven down, forcing his sums out. So I like Niles stepping up, trading Ghost for flash. That's well worth it, especially this far behind in the game. TSM don't have Baron anymore, but they still are looking to push. Dragon's up, but they want turrets.
They do. Niles gets punished a little bit. Takeover just able to put lots of damage out. Here comes Azog. Everyone's seen that pick on the hunt. Here goes to be popped right now into the immediate spell shield and right of the arcane to try and chase them away, but there's just not enough damage on the APA side here. That's going to be everything that Maryville had in the tank to try and defend, and they will be able to shred this wave by a bit of time. They've still got to keep their bases covered down. Infernal is on the rift.
Yeah, the poke's still good from the side of Xerath, and when you lose Baron, it's really hard for TSM to shove, so it looks like TSM just going to reset. They don't even care about this dragon. Soul's going to try and pick it up on the back half, but this dragon has way more health, and it looks like Maryville, if Iconic walks in here, might be able to find Dragon a little leashed. Not bad. Never mind. They're scared.
All right.
They have no control. No control.
I mean, TSM have been able to take dragons whenever they want, right? They've been able to set things up at their leisure. They don't need to take it now. They can take it whenever. Nice and easy. Cruising, as you said. Down the highway, really.
And for TSM, again, this is a team that I really feel like in the back half of the split, I know they had a lot of roster iterations, just shuffles, given LCS needs, given a really unfortunate wrist injury to Huni. It's a real bummer. And, you know, having to make some shuffles, bringing in Solo and Chime. But I think this roster for Proving Grounds, this team has a chance to do some damage. I look at players like Tactical and Anda and Takeover. Like, those are three players to me that can, you know, if they take top 4 in this tournament, I wouldn't blink an eye. I really feel like the quality of players that TSM has on this Academy squad, they can do some damage, and I really hope they step up to the task, step up to the mantle of delivering in these best of 3s and best of 5s, because I think, you know, for players like Tactical, I think that the community's been really hard on this guy. It obviously hasn't been his best year, but I mean, you think of the talent this guy had on TL. Same players in there, and I view him as a confidence player. Building up that confidence, having a game like this for Tactical, I think can mean a lot for him moving forward in this tournament. Really want to see Tactical hit the high highs that we've seen before, because we know what this guy can do. Love to see him try and put together some of those performances and really remind us the talent this guy has on this roster.
Absolutely, and there's very few champions that are talent or confidence boosters like a Draven when you get into your fed early game, and it really just was from minute 1, the early start. Maryville, they're not going to go down without a fight, but it is a PvE fight because we're trading Baron for tier 1 tower. At this point, TSM just has so much map control. There's so little Maryville can do to try and get back into this one.
They're gonna try and get an inner. They should stick around. They're gonna try and hover. Baron might be too much, though, as, they know if the Baron and Power recalls come in, they can't stick around any longer. So Maryville, they know they can't fight. They know they need more items on the Sivir. I think it's too little, too late. And we'll see if Tactical almost has that flashback up here, Pyro. Once that gets back in his hands, you gotta believe that's when TSM are really gonna try and push the pace.
Oh, yeah. Keep your eyes on the timer. He's been not opposed to just burning that heal to try and get the extra speed boost as well, and I think TSM know when they have an opening, they're not going to take any like, well, they'll take the chances, but the chances are just so much in their favor. They're not going to be worrying about what Maryville can do. But you got to be careful as you overstep as a Raven, because Maryville have been able to find those kills. Maybe only once under the Draven, but Mia's been doing a good job of playing Protector, so side lane's pushed both ways, Takeover on the top, Soul on the bottom. Everybody else in the mid lane, 1-3-1 engage. And that's the Hex Flash on to Azog. Spell shields it. It's the time, and here's the turn. Do they have any damage is the question. And the answer is no.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4-1 with Takeovers putting on the top side. Oh, Niles, he's going to go.
They got Mia. Hold on a sec, that's going to be the ejection, and it does manage to find one with Fever's Verdict. Even with the knockups, they do find a shutdown on the Soul. They get more. Azog finding Mia. That's going to mean the rest of TSM are going to be scattered to the winds. They buy a little bit of time here. It's takeover running.
TSM are so split. I'm really surprised they're still playing out 3 lanes against the Seraph. If you get picked, you get poked out, it's doomed. And now takeover. That turret's going to keep him alive long enough for his team to rotate. Fortunate as TSM in the 3v5 trying to get out.
Okay, so takeover manages to get away. Sun is doing some work. Tactical stepping a little far forward as well, though. Let's see if they can actually catch him and take him down. And does not have that keeper's verdict used earlier in the fight. Tactical stays alive. And that's all Maryville can get.
He's got BT and Eclipse. He's back to full as... Man, TSM, even, you know, dropping 2 members, still were able to take 2 inhibitor turrets. So this game, it has slowed down. Still feels very one-sided here, Pyra. But I do want to see TSM try and make a play, grouping up 4-1. I feel like 4-1. Azir, you have Flash, you have Emperor's Divide. I feel like Takeover could end this game if he has a good Emperor's Divide.
Speaking of ending.
Oh my god, are you really?
Yeah, Niles had no chance there.
Well, you know what the perks of staying in a side lane the whole game are, Pyra? Experience.
Eventually get to base? Yeah, that too.
Level 18. Wow. Takeover is pumping.
He's big. He's big. 31.5, 9-9. It's been a very low kill game by comparison to our opening series, but I think it is not going to be going on for much longer here. TSM ready to close the trap. Takeover solo pushing on. The side has not been under serious threat for a long time in this game. Even without the minions, Tactical's tanking on the turret, and they just keep going.
Now TSM
wins. You gotta make a play here, Maryville. To the right of the arcade, they look for Tactical, but they do not not able to find it on this one. The depth charge does manage to land. They connect. They take down Azog, and all of a sudden the threat is gone. Niles is coming off in a second, but the rest of the team is not so lucky, going the opposite direction. That's going to be 1, 2, and 3 inhibitors down in TSM. Well, they won't end here, but I feel like it's close.
It's tough to end. Tough to end against Seraph. No Baron to help buff up your creeps. But TSM, they're about to have super minions pouring into Maryville's base. They're sticking around. Tactical's so big. Both Psalms, gotta believe it's gonna be it.
Yeah, feel himself at this point. Full build on the Draven. Level 17, still has a little bit more XP to farm, but I think he's gonna get there pretty quickly. That's Takeover just going huge. Takes down APA just off the shuffle. They keep going forward. The minions are coming up, padding their stats. They will cash in one more time. Tactical finds himself another, and even aims for the fountain dive, just making sure that Maryville can't do a darn thing. That's the next column. TSM Academy take game 1.
You know, we spent so much time talking in our first series about what it would mean for Immortals, a team that went 3-15 in their second round robin to pick up a 2-0. What about for someone like Tactical? You know, I feel like the community has been really hard on this guy, finding himself in Academy. When I remember Tactical at his best, it was when he was stepping up and making plays. Getting First Blood level 1 and trouncing Maryville throughout that game in a brilliant Draven performance. That's the Tactical I want to see more of. The confidence, being able to step up, being able to test his own mechanics against someone else, because oftentimes that's going to come up in Tactical's favor. That's exactly what happened that game for TSM. This is a beautiful game, the way that they worked around that level 1 First Blood 2 and is supporting it. Textbook from TSM, they look damn strong in that one.
Yeah, they do, and I think Maryville are going to have to recalibrate, otherwise they will be on their way out early. We'll find out right after this. We're going on a short break. Don't go anywhere.